Hello, everyone. It's amazing to be here. I'm super excited to see that the big audience that we have for our session of the day, or last session of the day, so thank you for being here. We really, really appreciate it. I'm Shaked Ershkovitz. I'm a Solution Engineering Director here at Monday.com, and I'll pass to my colleague Ayub to introduce himself.
Thank you, Shaked. Hello, everyone. My name is Ayub Nasiri. I'm a Principal Customer Success Manager working in the London office, and I'm very honored to be here today.
Beautiful. Today's session is called 10 Tips to Get the Most Out of Your Monday.com. And this session isn't about the product roadmap. This session isn't about something that's coming in the future. This is about the present. Exciting capabilities that we have within our product that can basically transform the way that the organization works. Today, or if you wish tomorrow or next week, you can go ahead and implement all of the great practical tips that we're about to share with you, and basically make sure that your organization become more powerful and gain lots of tips and tricks that can make you more effective. I would say two things before I'll hand off to Ayub. Two things that I want you to know. One, we're very proud to do hands-on demo with you. We see this as an intimate crowd, okay? We'd love to share with you things that we've basically collected from valuable professionals across the world. Customer success, professional services, solution engineers, our valuable partners. All of them took place in shaping the 10 tips that you're basically going to see today. Tell us more, Ayub. What's the real treat that you prepared for us for today?
Of course. So we're very excited to show you 10 tips in how to best leverage Monday.com, and we'll do it in James Bond style. So one of my favorite parts of every James Bond movie was when 007 went to Q for secret weapons. So Q would hand him specific gadgets that didn't look like secret weapons. And that's exactly what we will be covering today. Secret weapons hidden in plain sight, but once you discover them, it will make a world-saving difference. And we also promise that you won't need a license to use them. They will be ready for you at your fingertips. So let's get started.
Beautiful. So today we said that we have 10 tips, but we also have like a bonus tip. So let's get started with Ayub kicking us with the first tip of the day.
So the first one is Bolt Switch. Bolt Switch, for those who don't know yet, is a shortcut. There's a shortcut in the platform that takes you to Bolt Switch, which is a way to navigate across the platform. So if you're, for example, in Monday.com on a MacBook, you'll access it through Command B. But if you're on a Windows computer, it's Control B. And if I'm on a MacBook, so if I click on Command B, it takes me to the quick search, and I can type in anything I want in order to navigate across the platform. It can be a dashboard, a workspace, a dock, or a board. And actually, when you enter this room, or if you were already seated, you most likely had a laptop sticker handed over to you, and that's part of actually a list of so many tips that we would like to share with you. So these shortcuts, please leverage them once you're in Monday.com. And it's the type of life before and after kind of feature. Once you discover them, once you know about it, you wouldn't want to go back to the traditional way of navigating across the platform. So let's get started with the real tips now.
Thanks so much, Ayub. So this sounds super powerful. I think it's simple yet powerful. It's finding your way to navigate the Monday account. We all know that Monday account can grow. It's very hard to find your way over there. And if I hear you right, Ayub, in simple words, you can find all of the building blocks with Command B, or do some other cool stuff with all of the handouts and the stickers we gave them, right?
Exactly.
Beautiful. Thanks so much. Moving on to our next tip for today. The next tip that we had and we wanted to present for you is called required fields. The reason why I'm super excited about required fields is because this tip is actually coming from you, our valuable customers. We've heard throughout the sessions today that a lot of what we do here in Monday.com is driven by amazing feedback that we get from our customers. So this is one of the most important things that we've heard from you, and then we implemented. If I'll have to explain required fields using our James Bond theme, using the spy games, required fields is basically a way for us not to miss any piece of information. If I'm going to train, and onboard new MI6 agents, similar to 007, and I want to make sure that they walk through the same exact onboarding process, or I want to make sure that they basically report the same exact indicators throughout the process, required field is basically the answers. It allows us to tunnel, it allows us to enforce, it creates alignment, and it makes sure basically that there is true consistency in the way we retrieve and handle data. So required fields basically allows you to take things and make them mandatory. So from a very chaotic board or an account, you can find it very persistent and very structured. Let's see that in action. So what I have here is a board called not required fields. Let's say that I want the new Aston Martin car for a valuable James Bond. Without required fields, I can mark whatever fields I want to mark. I can leave fields empty, like the date or the field use case. So there's lots of things which are basically not in my control. However, if we enforce, and I think enforce is a key term here, if we enforce required field, that means that every future entry that we're about to create, any new retrieval of data, will go through the same exact flow. Simply clicking here and clicking on a new item will allow me to do the same exact thing, create Aston Martin with the specific attributes which are mandatory. So for those of you who are sitting here and maybe managing manufacturing with production lines, or for those of you who are managing or doing project management, this is key thing to enforce which kind of data do you get, and to make sure that you get it all in the way you want it. And that can boost the way that you do reporting and retrieve data.
So Shaked, required fields, is that, if I understand it correctly, it's a way to ensure standardization as you continue scaling any kind of use case?
100%. If you feel like you lost control, or if you feel like you're missing data, or if you feel like you have inaccurate reports, required fields will make sure everyone uses the same languages and the same set of fields. So that can be truly enforced.
Amazing. I like that.
Wonderful. Let's go to our next tip of the day.
So the next one is match workflow. And this is one of my favorites. So see it as the invisible link that keeps your worlds in sync. On one set of boards, you'll have all the different 007 missions being run in individual boards. And then on another board, you'll have MI6 keeping an eye on all the mission milestones, because they wouldn't want to jump from one mission to another and understand the nitty-gritty. They want to understand the major milestones and how they are being done. And that's exactly where match workflow comes in. Because without it, normally you would have someone that has to manually or chase 007 for those updates, making sure that all the data is correct and up to date. And in the world of James Bond, that would be probably someone like Moneypenny chasing him. Well, match workflow steps in and saves the world, because once that item in one of those mission boards exists in the milestone board, each time 007 updates his mission, the right level of information is being synchronized. So let's see it in action. Here we have one mission managed by 007, secret layer infiltration, and another one, Spectre mission. They all share similar structure in terms of how to manage the mission. However, without being confused or looking into the actual details, there is one key column to indicate if something is a milestone or not. So let me quickly show you the milestone board before we run a test. This is the one that MI6 will be keeping an eye on a regular basis. So when 007 creates a new item, I'm going to name it Demo for Elevate. I will define the date. And once that is done, I'll indicate that it's a milestone. What will happen? The item will be created with the exact same information in the source mission board. So pay attention, it's the 31st of October. Let's say there is a delay. The milestone needs to be pushed to a future date. So Monday, the 3rd of November. Match workflow will synchronize this information and just transfer it across. And we can do this for any type of column that exists in the mission boards and transfer it to the milestone board. And this is a very powerful capability because James can focus on his mission and MI6 can stay on track without lifting its fingers.
If I hear you right, Ayub, it sounds like the match automation allows us a level of connectivity between the boards that we never had before. Like, it's much more powerful, it's much more connected. There's less places to update as a source of truth.
Exactly.
Beautiful. Super inspiring. Anything else on that before we move to the next tip?
Let's move on to the next one.
Yalla, let's go. Moving on. The next tip is called All Projects Dashboard. All Project Dashboards is really exciting because these ones act like the technical department that James Bond uses to ease, to simplify, to innovate. What used to happen in the past, and I don't know how many of you are using dashboards. I know I talked with a lot of people outside using dashboards. When you create a dashboard, there's lots of manual work. There's lots of heavy lifting. You need to create a dashboard. You need to basically set the custom widgets. You need to define exactly what you want and what you don't want. And I think what excites about all project dashboards is the fact that it's fully automated. And we are going to see it live and hands-on. Basically, all project dashboards takes best-in-class, top-notch best practices that we've got around project management and other use cases and allow you with a single few clicks to ensure that you build a dashboard that is being built for you. Okay, think about the best practices of what project management is all about, being in action, and I think once we show it, I think that will talk stronger than words. So let's see it live. I don't know a lot of SaaS companies out there that are willing to do something like that live, but we on Monday, we believe in showing you our very best. What we have here, if you'll notice, is basically a portfolio with lots of James Bond movies. That's the portfolio pane of glass. It includes lots of program GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies, and so on and so forth. Underneath it, there's also projects connected to it. A single click, basically on the 3 dots right here, and we will choose on the portfolio components, and we will ask our amazing AI to create all project dashboards for us. I need someone to work for me. I need someone to innovate for me. And what will happen now is while we're talking, a whole new dashboard will be based and created on the portfolio, giving us a full view on the things that really matter, okay? The tasks, the incomplete, the delays, the status, all of the things that you've been seeing here was built automatically for you. We've used the project management example, but this will go on and on to other lines of business and other use cases. So I hope you're excited as I do. And this one is a really game changer in terms of being respectful for your time and allowing you to create things from scratch easily so the system works for you and you don't work for the system.
So Shaked, today we have 3 projects. Let's say tomorrow I have 200 projects.
That's an excellent question, and I think that is spot on, Ayub. The fact that this is something that is built and working for us continues over time. That means that if our program or portfolio basically grows or shrinks, new boards will be added automatically, or other boards will be detached automatically. So growing or shrinking is also automatically, we don't have to go to the manual work of adding a board or removing a board. Much faster, and it keeps working for us over time while we evolve the business.
Amazing. I like that.
Beautiful. Moving on for our next tip of the day.
So the next one is the item cards. Here I'm going to make an assumption. I'm sure each one of you has at least had a board with more than a few columns. And one of the big challenges, do I need all these columns? Or do I need to use this board to collaborate on other types of stakeholders and have different columns for different types of personas? Or how many columns do we truly need? Well, this is where item cards comes into play. Because let's say you want to avoid scrolling left and right. That's absolutely fine. You can, in the world of 007, have a single board where every mission is being managed, and you can leverage the item card to be tailored for different types of persona. An item card view for 007, an item card view for Q when handing out secret weapons, and an item card for MI6 from a leadership perspective. And all of these can be operating in the same area as a single board. So let's see it in action.
Well, Ayub is showing us, I must admit, I'm also the one using dozens of columns, hundreds of columns. It's been pretty painful, right? Scrolling right, scrolling left. Finding your way through the board wasn't so easy, and we changed it.
So here we can see a list of all the missions. Every mission will have specific data points for Q when handing him out gadgets, 007 about the location, who to target, within what timeline, and M from a leadership perspective. As you can see, it's Scroll City right now. However, if I click on an item, I have a dedicated item card view for Bond with only the relevant information for 007, an item card view for Q when handing him out secret weapons, and one for M from a leadership perspective. And all of these can live in a single board. So the value here is that we can cater to varying needs, different types of persona, while still being efficient and optimal in a single board.
Beautiful. Let's go on to our next tip that we prepared for you. We want to make sure we do cover it all, and we have lots of goodies to show your way. The next one is called Embed Everything. And Embed Everything basically allows you to take any piece of information, any piece of web page that you have within your organization. And we all know that the tech stack that you have is quite big, right? And bring them into Monday. If we want Monday to be the spine or the beating heart of your organization, Embed Everything basically allows us to create and bring in data and to communicate, to exchange data across the entire organization. What does it actually mean? Less context switch for the employees, all of the data that you need within one single pane of glass. You can actually custom the look and feel of how Monday.com look. And we've seen amazing things, and I want to share with you two examples that I think will showcase how Embed Everything can bring into life everything your organization do and keep the organizational focus on what's happening in the organization. So I want to walk you through two examples, if I may, and show you how they look in action. Okay, so the first example I want to show you, it's called, well, going back to our amazing Bond examples, is how Monday changed its look for spy games, for spy movies. If we are into Bond and we want to play a video, or we want to see the latest model of a new armory, we can see that. If I scroll down, and everything is customizable here to the look and feel that you want to achieve, you can see that I can even use as a repository of data, questions and answers, the historical movies of James Bond, and the most iconic moments over time. But wait, we're here in the biggest elevate that we had in the history of Monday.com. And I think that not only in Monday.com that we talk the talk, we walk the walk. We've prepared for months for this event. We've done our very best. And if I want to show you how we basically can create a dashboard that we can easily present the same way we presented it in Monday, okay? Basically, so you can see a full view. We're all eyes on deck, all hands on deck for Elevate 2025, taking place in different regions across the world. We have a very detailed agenda. We care about your feedback, so we also have a feedback form. And we also have lots of places for questions and touch point. So we're super excited about you being here, and I think it took us tremendous work, but Embed Everything made everyone focused and know that the mission is coming, more participants are coming, and the tasks become more and more crucial.
Amazing. So essentially, you can customize a dashboard the way you want it and integrate third-party information as well.
Spot on.
Amazing. Love it.
Let's move on to the next tip.
The next one. So I think this one will resonate a lot with the support teams, because one of the very most common questions that support teams ask themselves is, who's taking the next ticket? Or who's taking the next request? And in Bond's world, which agent will be assigned to the next mission? And this is where round-robin assignment comes into play in Monday service, because there's no more guessing, no more favoritism, no more politics or anything. Everyone gets a fair chance.
Ayub, I'll stop you there. It sounds like round robin is something I need back at home. I'm the only one at home doing the dishes. I really, really want round robin. I really want fairness. I really want everyone sharing the duties, and it feels like it's all on me.
For instance, that could also be a relevant use case. So let's jump into action and see how it actually works. So over here, we have a board in Monday service where we manage tickets. We have a dedicated people column for assigning an agent. So let me quickly show you a technicality before we do a real demo. In the settings for the agent, we have the assignment routing. We assigned MI6 to manage this specific people column, which means all the agents operating on behalf of MI6 will get a fair chance to be assigned to the next mission. Now, let's move on to the form and do a test. I'll assign it to myself. For the sake of time, I'm just going to quickly log it. What will happen is, because there is no agent assigned yet, it will go to the unassigned tickets, and as soon as an agent has been assigned, it will move to the following group. Let me refresh the page. Okay, so now we can see that M has been assigned to this specific request, or mission in this case. However, if I do another one, this time it will be under Shaked. Once it's in the unassigned tickets queue, we can see that this time it's not M who has been assigned, but it's Felix Leiter. And no matter how many people you have in a team, everyone gets a fair chance. So no more favoritism, no more guessing, and everyone can focus on delivering the best performance that they can.
I like that. I can relate to that for sure. Next tip, moving on to some more powerful tips we've planned for you.
So the next one is Monday Sidekick. See Sidekick as your Monday Felix Leiter, your partner in crime who shows up at the right time. And instead of actually having to manage so many workflows with a single person, you have a sidekick who is part of Monday's new AI capabilities that can actually come and help you. So you can give it instructions, you can talk to it, you can explain it what you're trying to achieve, and then it will action on it.
We have a say in Monday, Ayub, that if you can define the problem, or if you can define the solution, or if you can envision what we want to do, Monday Sidekick will do it for you. That's what we say within the Monday.com employees, when we talk about the vision of Sidekick. And let's see it in action.
Exactly.
Sorry. Here we go.
So in this example, we see a specific board where a list of tasks of James are listed out. Are we on the right screen?
Yeah. I think we need to play the video for us. In terms of speeding up, we've done this one as a video.
Can you press play? team, can you please press play?
Yeah. Wonderful. We have it.
OK. So that's the demo effect. Once you activate Sidekick, you'll see a right pane on the right-hand side, and you can actually converse with this AI agent, Sidekick. So in this specific example, Bond has a list of tasks. We indicated in the instructions to start assigning a start date for every task, following the sequence of items in the board for the project managers amongst us, waterfall methodology. Then we need to make sure that there's 5 days difference between every task. And we're going to start on the 3rd of November, 2025, which is a Monday. Then the next question was to transfer the start date to the timeline column with a duration of 5 days. Next, we also asked it to assign the status label column for every task belonging to the right group. And that's why you see different colors showing up for different items. And then finally, we changed all the tasks to ready to start, so Bond knows that on Monday, the 3rd of November, he's ready to start his first task and to manage the rest of his mission.
Thank you, Ayub. Moving on to our next tip, that it's called AI Sprint Summary, and that is all about organizational development. How do we do lesson learning, and how do we evolve over time with becoming more and more agile and more productive? I would say that when we've done an analysis in Monday, we've saw that a lot of Monday customers come to us because they want to be more agile, respond faster to change, change the business environment, be able to take control of changes of regulation, and send out or deliver outcomes and hand out deliverables faster. AI Sprint Summary helps you do that. Let's see that in action. So what I'm going to do now, I'm basically going to quickly open a new sprint, which is called Elevate London. The sprint goals, very much to James Bond, is to protect the world or to save humanity, very much like the 007 as we know them. We're going to put a timeline. Typically, a timeline of a sprint is 2 weeks' time. What we're going to do, we're going to choose from the backlog. This is usually something we choose for things that we never got to do. And basically what I'm going to do now, I'm going to move them into our sprint for Elevate London that we've created specially for you. What we're going to do here, we're basically going to add a little bit of color here. I can assign a few people. We really like in Monday the sense of ownership, so we'll make sure we have it. We're going to start the sprint. And the sprint have started. Let's give it some color. And we're basically going to change the actual story point. What we're going to do now, we're basically going to close the sprint just to simulate that 2 weeks have passed. And my organization wants to become smarter and more intelligent and to learn from one sprint to another. If I'll move quickly to the sprints right here, you can see that we have a list of all of the historical sprints of the organization. Nothing gets lost. We know it's not very sexy to read through lots and long of summaries of previous sprints. I can see the name of the sprint, the goals, the timeline, the connected tasks. Nothing really gets lost. I can see when did the sprint start and when did it end. So all of the peaceful informations are here. But where does the automation or the fueling up of AI comes into action? A single click here will show you that I can see a full list summarizing the sprint and giving me valuable data, insights and recommendation. Who was doing what, how much was planned, how much wasn't planned, who's performing well and who isn't. Lots of goodies and action items so I can become better and become more and more agile. I hope you liked it the same way as I do. Having said that, let's move to our next tip.
Next one, extract info block. So think of every mission 007 is involved in. There are also expense reports, for example, that needs to be submitted. Aston Martin rentals, the different martinis that the finance team would like not to see in those expense reports. However, they are all unstructured with different types of text, images, and it means that a system needs to be able to scan all those receipts, take the relevant pieces of information, and put them where they belong to. Extract info block is exactly helping in that aspect. 007 submits a new expense report, gives it a title, uploads the file, and then afterwards, AI will surface the information through the attached file and put them in the relevant columns. And voila, we can actually spend less time on copy-pasting information and focus more on the decisions.
Ayub, that's awesome. I could tell the audience and you that one of our biggest customers in EMEA was doing it for extracting proposals from RFPs and tenders. He was managing bids, and he wanted to extract the prices and the quantities. So this works in action, and this is already operational among our customers in Europe.
Amazing. And the final one, the next tip.
So our last tip for today, it's basically deal insights. Deal insights is basically our way to get intelligence of the sales cycle that we've never had before. This is your way to impact the bottom line, the revenue of your organization. Regardless of what your business do, I can promise you they care about the bottom line. Deal insights is basically something that allows us to get intelligence, positive signals or negative signals fueled by AI, so we can have consistency, and we can make sure that we are optimizing our sales management and sales forecast. This is the secret weapon or the secret spy that gives you pieces of advice in real time so you can modify your sales cycle. Let's see that one. So I have two great movies of James Bond. One of them I don't like so much. This is the GoldenEye buyback deal, where you can see that we have lots of negative signals. This is being retrieved from all of the activities, the phone calls, the meetings, the notes, the emails. We can see lots of negative signals for the James Bond movie that I don't like. This is all AI-driven, and it's constantly learning and changing over time. The Casino Royale, which is my favorite, we can see it's a total different story. The positive signals are there. Everything we've done right. We scheduled the next step. We have multi-threaded contact, so we are well-equipped to get a happy customer and a happy engagement. Regardless of what your engagement is, Deal Insight allows you to control and do better and make sure you keep happy customers and meaningful relationships.
Love it. Thank you so much, Shaked.
Beautiful. So with that final tip for today, we just want to call out a few things. Okay? The first one, our mission for today was to be very much value-driven. So if you learned at least one thing, okay, which is good and new to you, one thing that you can take back into your organization, so Monday will work better for you, so your organization will become better, we've done our part, and we're happy to give you takeaways. In addition, Ayub, amazing Ayub, prepared for you solutions packed. You can contact your representative and get those things that you've seen here as solutions, as packages, so you can take away and get lots of goodies out of this session.
And one more thing, in case you didn't get a sticker with those shortcuts, please make sure to grab some as you're exiting the room. And for those who signed up for the masterclass, for tomorrow, we'll dive into every tip into more details. And if you hadn't had the chance to sign up, no worries, we got you. You can sign up for the Elevate Online, where we'll cover the exact same in more details.
Great. So come and meet us in the expert booth. Come and meet us in the product booth. We'll all be waiting for you. Thank you so much for believing in us, and let's take it to the next level. Thanks a lot.